Other than B12, how are vegans doing? Well, there are tiny studies on vegans all the time, some comparing pre-existing vegans to omnivores, like this study in Thailand that found that vegans have significantly better baseline kidney function than everyone else. And then there are studies that take meat eaters and put them on a vegan diet to see what happens. Researchers in Sweden, for example, showed this year that eating vegan can fight off rheumatoid arthritis. Dr. Neil Barnard showed that eating vegan can fight off obesity. And with perhaps the most self-evident study title ever, Dr. Dean Ornish showed that eating vegan increases intake of protective dietary factors and decreases intake of pathogenic or disease-causing dietary factors. The Ornish study only had 42 people in it, though. Barnard's 64, the arthritis study 38 vegans, and the kidney one only looked at 25. There have been some big studies on vegetarians in the past, with the California Adventist study now in its 17th year, studying more than 10,000 vegetarians, and leading to really landmark findings, such as vegetarians living about 10 years longer than the general public. 10 years of life is indeed a matter of choice. We've known that vegetarians have much lower rates of diabetes, but we thought it was because they have such low rates of obesity. Vegetarian eating tends to bring one down to a healthy weight, which prevents diabetes, so we thought the link between meatless eating and lower diabetes risk was kind of indirect, but apparently no. This new study shows that vegetarian eating directly lowers diabetes risk. Longtime vegetarians had 74% less chance of developing diabetes, which means that cutting out meat cuts out 3/4 of our risk. And that was independent of weight. Even at the same weight, for some reason, vegetarians have significantly lower risk of developing diabetes and blindness, amputations, kidney failure, all the complications that come with it. A very important study. Now, compared to studies on vegetarians, studies on vegans have been much smaller. The Heidelberg study only had 60 vegans. Oxford had about 100, then 200, 300, 400. Until recently, the biggest studies on vegans in history only had a few hundred people in it, but there are some new developments. The EPIC study, European Prospective Investigation into Cancer, studying 18,900 vegetarians, and right now the Adventist Health Study 2 is being put together with 100,000 people overall and 33,000 vegetarians. Vegan-wise, EPIC finally breaks the 1,000 mark with 2,600 vegans, and by 2010 we should start getting back data from more than 4,000 American vegans.